Today, we continue our halfway to Halloween triple feature with Damien Leone's 2016 festive foray into fleshy, foul, and fecal fucked-uppery. The body count is climbing, the buckets of blood are spraying, and any hope for bathroom etiquette is flushed down the toilet, though not literally in this case, as we hit up an All Hallows Eve after-party with Art the Clown as he fills up on tricks, treats, and a strong, if not unhealthy, appetite for gory torture and unhinged carnage in Terrifier.
You're listening to How I Met Your Monster, a podcast that explores the introductions to your favorite movie monsters. My name's Zach.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Casey.
And together we dive into the world of horror to find out how filmmakers have introduced us to our favorite monsters time and time again. This is How I Met Your Monster.
Boss, you opened it. We came.
I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left.
Explorers in further regions of experience. Demons to some, angels to others.
Call you Meatloaf! Surprise, Sydney.
Come on, don't be chicken shit.
Welcome to How I Met Your Monster, the show where we discuss the introductions to your favorite movie monsters. Today, we are continuing our halfway to Halloween triple feature with a movie that actually takes place on Halloween.
Yeah, unlike Flatliners.
Just like Flatliners.
Just like that 5-minute part in Flatliners. Casey, this is your time to shine because...
Wait, do you think this was my pick? Do you think that I picked this movie? Why would you think that I picked this movie?
Casey is dressed up in full. She's dressed up in full Art the Clown.
I'm not wearing pants.
So she's dressed up in half Art the Clown, a half of an Art the Clown getup. She's Donald Ducking it. What would be the equivalent of that with Art the Clown? She's Art the Clowning it? No, because he wears pants. That doesn't make sense. You get what I'm saying. She's dressed up as Art the Clown. She's not wearing pants, but she probably is wearing pants. It was a bit.
Winnie the Pooh does that too.
Oh, yeah. What a name when you think about it. Winnie the Pooh. So many other options.
Kind of like Fart the Brown.
You need to write a book, a children's book called Fart the Brown. It looks great. Like, genuinely
really
looks
does.
amazing.
Oh my gosh.
With those gorgeous teeth.
How do you do the teeth like that, Casey? Are they fake teeth or is it stuff you color? Oh, okay. I see.
Casey is showing us some, what I'm assuming is teeth makeup.
Yeah, it's called, it's just tooth effects, but one is black and one is nicotine.
Oh, okay.
Crazy. Some people will spend thousands of dollars to fix their teeth. And here Casey is reversing it and making her teeth look worse. What?
Yeah. You know what's funny?
What?
I make those people's teeth.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Casey is quite gifted in the art of teeth making.
Mm-hmm. Quite gifted in a lot of areas, actually, when it comes to art. And
Stop.
I agree.
She is like
Stop
Art.
it.
She's like Art the Clown, but she's just like the art part.
Yeah. She's just the artist. Art the artist.
Art the
Right
artist.
now, I'm dressed as him, though,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah, just for reference to see how much more creative Casey is than Zach and I. We're both wearing hats and a t-shirt. She's dressed up in full costume that looks quite expensive.
Yeah, but I actually made a whole cosplay a year ago,
Danny,
But-
you and me should have dressed up as Dee and Tara.
I was gonna dress up as the cat lady.
Oh my God, that would have been so
Oh, hey, we
funny.
can be the pizza guys. We can be the pizza
Oh,
guys.
yes.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be the one who finds the poop?
Or the exterminators.
Ooh, or the exterminators. Dude, that poop scene. Oh my God.
Pretty hot. Pretty hot.
I made the mistake of eating Chinese food while watching this movie.
Ugh.
And
Haven't we talked about this? Greasy food with gory movies just doesn't go well for some reason.
That's right.
No, it's great.
It took me 3 times to get through Reanimator back in college because every time I would sit down to watch it, I would eat a greasy, spicy chicken sandwich. And I just, for some reason, couldn't do it at the same time. And I was like, why do I keep eating it? It's so delicious. And I wanted to watch the movie, and I never learned my lesson. But I did get through it. I loved it.
Oh, gosh. Casey's not going to talk this whole episode. She's just going to look and
smile.
stare.
It's like big Art the Clown smiles.
He doesn't talk at all. He doesn't make any noise.
He
Did you
farted
notice
once.
even when he like got stabbed in the foot, though? He doesn't even like.
Does he make noises when he
make any
poops?
sound?
If it's like a bad poop?
Oh,
Like a,
I don't know. If a man
poops in the woods, does Art the Clown make
if a man,
sound?
I can't think of words.
Okay.
If a
Does a
man,
man-
never mind. Fuck off. Fuck it. Okay.
Yeah, Danny, fuck off. Or me, I don't know.
That's not what I meant.
fuck you, Danny, you piece of shit.
That's not what I meant. I'm sorry.
Yeah. She's been talking about this movie for about 72 years. We've been trying to get this on the pod, and we finally did it,
72 years.
give or take.
72 years? Wow.
Yeah.
Roughly.
So did Casey give Damien Leone the idea for Terrifier? For Art the Clown?
Since I've been talking about it for 72
If she's been
years.
actually her, well,
Wait a minute. That actually plays into a question that I have, that I will have by the end of this episode. The whole idea of this loop, which may or may not be like a misread of the movie, but
Okay.
we will
Yeah.
come back to it because I have a specific note. So,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, so
when we answer that question, if we can answer that question, we may or may not find out if Casey did or could have given Damien Leone the idea for this movie.
I can answer that question.
I'm excited to get to that question. I'm excited to get to,
I may look really stupid. They're like, Danny, did you watch the same movie?
I don't know, because I
No,
was
I
a
already
little
know what your question is.
I was confused when the movie started because I know that Art the Clown was introduced in All Hallows Eve. And so I was thinking, did we need to see All Hallows Eve to like know what the beginning of this movie was? So, I mean, obviously we'll find out that no, that's not the case. But at the beginning, I was like, okay, I'm sure we'll figure it out. But like, I wonder if it was like, am I missing something by not having seen All Hallows Eve?
And I think it's fair to say that we should probably preface this recording that we're strictly focusing on the first Terrifier. So if you've only seen
Yes.
Terrifier, that's good. I've never seen the sequels. I'm guessing Casey has, and I know Zach has.
I have seen Terrifier 2. I don't know why I started with that one, but that's the one I saw.
Hey.
So
You're an outlier. I love it.
yeah. I just love like the whole like like the Star Wars and the prequels, and so now I do that with every movie that has
Everything.
sequels. I always watch them in reverse order. Yeah.
Be careful.
Zach watched The Godfather 3 first,
Yeah.
and he couldn't understand why they would let Sofia Coppola's character die. And then when he watched part 1, he's like, I get it.
Yep.
Because it's fully explained.
Yep.
That's like the crux of the entire trilogy is understanding that. Yeah. I think though, with that being said, I will have some questions. I am curious about part 2. So maybe later, Casey and Zach, if you would enrich us with some Terrifier 2 information to kind of, I don't know, I'm not asking you to pitch it to me, but I'm just curious. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Okay.
So what did you guys think of the movie?
Let me choose my words carefully. I liked it.
Oh, that's very careful. Very careful of you.
Playing it safe. I'm playing it safe. I'm taking the safe route.
Daniel?
I think it's fair to say that we three and maybe some of our regular listeners might know the sort of movies that I tend to gravitate toward. Movies like Terrifier don't necessarily fit into that category, but that is purely a subjective thing. That being said, for the subgenre in the horror genre that this movie, in which this movie kind of like exists, I think Terrifier does a great job. I think it sticks the landing for the type of movie that it wants to be. I think the visual effects especially are commendable. I think Art the Clown is a fantastic villain. I think it's hard to make a villain scary you know, just by like the looks, the visuals. And I think between the makeup, the actor, the performance, it's pretty solid. So I will give it all of the credit for that, and leave my sort of subjective, random, you know, the fact that I maybe prefer a different type of movie. I'll leave that out of this equation.
We've said this before that we are like the complete spectrum of horror movie fans between the three of us.
Yeah.
Like Casey loves I guess just in terms of violence. Casey's on one end, Danny's on the other, and I'm kind of right in the middle.
Yeah.
100%. I think that honestly, maybe that's not, I was going to say this triple feature, our picks are kind of indicative of that, but I guess not, because Flatliners is sort of more middle of the road. It's not really gory. But just in between Casey and me, Casey chose Terrifier. I chose Hocus Pocus. So if that says anything about like where I stand, that's where I stand.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you gotta, I try really hard to, you know, I'm not a critic. I don't want to be a critic. But if I were to quote unquote critique something, I try to do it on the merits of whether or not the movie succeeded in doing what it was trying to accomplish. And I think Terrifier did. So
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, this would be a great double feature with Hatchet.
You know, I don't care for Hatchet.
Because Hatchet is kind of like the same.
Isn't that weird?
You know,
Victor Crowley.
They're both low budget. They're both like throwbacks to the 80s slasher of just like fuck them up, kill them in all the creative ways you can. And
yeah.
God,
I guess I didn't realize that. Yeah. I didn't realize how confined this movie was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into like just kind of like that warehouse, pretty much.
Yeah.
For the majority of the movie, I had no idea.
Well, real low budget, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What was it, like $35,000?
Oh my goodness, that's incredible for what they pulled off.
Or is
if that's the actual budget? Oh my god.
Yeah, Damien Leone did all of the effects for it.
Dude, those fake heads in this, were really good. Who was was it the second exterminator that gets his head cut off and ripped off?
Yeah.
The fake head that he's holding, I was like, oh damn, that looks really good.
Yeah, it is good.
And all the skull crushing and the kill of the movie. That was my god. I knew that happened.
Neck to navel.
I was like aware that was a kill in this movie, but I was thinking like, okay, I know what's happening. It can't really be that bad. And then I watched it and I was like, fuck. Because you know what I didn't think of? And this is very detailed and I don't even want to say it. I didn't think about that. Like, there's like a starting point.
Nah.
There's like already a started
vagina
point. Yes. And that's the part that like when watching it got me. I was like, oh, fuck, this is horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Ugh.
Yeah. You mean there's already a little crease there?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's already, it's like a little crevice for him to just start. So it's
just made for being sawed in half.
Mm-hmm.
She's asking for it.
Oh, that's a whole other conversation right there.
Casey's taking on this very dark. The influence of Art the Clown is taking her over in this.
This
episode.
I just love this movie.
Oh gosh,
yeah, this movie, man, still digesting it.
Well, I'll give you a little bit more time to digest because we're going to get into Terrifier and meet Art the Clown here in just a second. But before we do, as always, I'd like to talk for a brief moment about Fangoria, the amazing horror movie subscription magazine that gives you all the horror content you want. And you can actually get it for 20% off with promo code How I Met Your Monster. Just visit shop.fangoria.com/howimetyourmonster. Load up all those items in your cart, whatever you want, hats, t-shirts, subscriptions, everything.
They almost have too much horror content.
They do. It's like, dude,
it's too much.
It's like Fangoria. Chill out. Yeah. Just tone it down a bit.
I think I've seen enough, but that's not true. You actually could help Fangoria by purchasing some of the items from Fangoria. You could lessen the load of the kind of abundance of horror content that they carry. So you're kind of like, and you could probably, file that as a write-off, a tax write-off. So, it's sort of charity to help them in their need to lessen the load of horror content. So, probably not, but
Fangoria needs to do one of those like local car commercial ads where they're like,
yes,
we've got too much inventory.
Yeah.
It's all gotta go.
There's too much blood. Help.
But you can save 20% and also help support How I Met Your Monster by visiting shop.fangoria.com/howimetyourmonster and using promo code How I Met Your Monster.
Hell yeah.
And with that being said, are you guys ready to head to New York City, I think?
No.
I am not ready.
Is it Miles County?
Yeah, but
Miles County Massacre. But like, why did I think it was New York? There was something that
industrial.
gave it a... Yeah, but there was something specific that happened, and I was like, oh, this is New York City.
I think it was with that time when Art the Clown shat all over the toilet and the taxi guy drove by and goes, "Welcome to New York." That was like classic.
But while looking into the camera and shaking his head.
Yeah, and
Welcome
somehow
to New
you
York.
knew what was happening in the bathroom. But also was aware that he was in a movie.
That's right.
it is in New York, but it's like a fictional place in New York.
Sure. Okay.
It's like Derry, Maine in Maine. There's no dairy.
Yeah.
Stephen King doesn't care.
Yeah.
All right. Let's head to Miles County and meet Art the Clown. Casey, since this was clearly your pick, go ahead, if you would be so kind, as to read the synopsis for Damien Leone's Terrifier.
Oh, I would love to. Okay, it's very simple.
Okay.
It's very
On
simple.
Halloween night. It's very simple. I'm Art the Clown. I make a pasta. He's actually based off of French clowns.
Oh.
He's a very sim. No, that's still Italian.
No, I am Art the Clown. Is that terrible? Is that French? Never mind. Just don't you dare fucking put that in there because
it is going in.
y'all like to make fun of
It is going in the episode.
my accents. Okay.
Yes, Casey, we are ready for the synopsis, the simple synopsis of Terrifier.
Okay. On Halloween night, Tara Hayes finds herself as the obsession of a sadistic murderer known as Art the Clown.
Okay. That pretty much sums up the movie.
Yeah.
That's it.
I was a little shocked to see Tara get so far and then just get killed.
Isn't it great?
I was, yeah.
You thought she was the final girl, didn't you?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
It definitely subverts the classic hero's journey in literature. She doesn't quite hit all the beats.
Okay, so we need to count up our reveals before we get started. We have a set criteria for what counts as a reveal, but some movies are a little different in the fact that we meet the monster multiple times throughout the movie. The same characters meet the monster multiple times. So, so some movies vary a little bit. So how did you guys do your reveals for Terrifier?
I wrote down all of the reveals, but also like all of the kills too, because I don't know.
Okay.
It kind of gets crossed in there when it.
We'll see.
So we'll just go with whatever.
Because normally we would do like anytime a character meets the monster, but you know, so just for like example's sake, like the chase at the end with like Victoria going through the thing, like she's already met Art the Clown, but she gets away from him and then he comes back and then she gets away from him and then he comes back.
Right.
So like I counted those as each a reveal instead of just.
Yeah, I don't think I did.
Instead of just the first time she meets him, I counted each time he.
Okay, so that's what
up.
like like they meet, like Tara and Dawn meet him in the pizza place or outside actually, but he isn't technically, he's not a murderer yet.
Yeah. So it's still they're
Right.
technically meeting him. So I would say that counts as a reveal but then we're also them meeting him as the monster. I have, all right, so do we have a count? I have 11 plus 1 honorable mention.
Okay.
I tried my best.
Okay. Casey, did you number your reveals at all?
No.
No.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Art the Clown wouldn't number his either. So
Art doesn't. Yeah. If he did, he would mark it in poop or blood.
And poo-poo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have got 19 reveals.
Oh, some may say
Let me
too many.
let me take that back. Let's say 18 reveals with 1 honorable mention.
Okay.
Some may say too many. Yes.
But I know what you're saying about the Terra scene where Terra? Why am I
Terrifier
Okay.
is what it's called. Terrifier.
When Terrifier is running from Art the Clown.
Yeah. Terra
I
is
had
the
the same
Terrifier, the
thought. I was
titular
like, do we
Terrifier.
count all this? But I think I consolidated it to just the one and kind of counted it as like an extended sequence. But I don't think there's a right or wrong. I mean, maybe there's a right answer depending on what we decide on. But I'm not saying I'm right.
Okay.
Even though I am.
Leave it to Danny. He's always got to be right.
I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just right.
Do you remember like when you got like, it's so like, this is so like, when did I get my ears pierced for the first time? Like 6th grade or something. So it's like, I don't know, 1996 or 1995 or something. This is so dated. When the fucking ear piercing guy, they're like, what ear do you want it in? And you're like, I don't know. And they said,
The right ear's gay.
I remember them saying left is right, right is wrong. And that's what they fucking told me. And I was like,
Left is okay, right is gay.
You're a kid, you're like, okay, whatever. But I was like, looking back at that now, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Dark.
You know what I mean?
It's funny when I had my eyebrow pierced in high school. And I mean, I'm just in case this is your first time listening, I'm a gay man.
Homosexual.
So I can say this. No, but I remember I got, in high school, I was in the closet and I was very insecure about it. So of course I had to play the straight card. And I asked the guy giving me the piercing, I was like, what's like the side to get it? And he like kind of gave me a look and he was, what did he say? He was like, left is Elton John, right is Tinky Winky. He's like, you tell me. I was like, oh, he's like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I asked the same thing when I got my eyebrow
He was
pierced.
kind of implying like, it's a stupid question. He's like, you just get what you want. He's kind of doing it. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gay either. I'm like, I'm not gay, by the way, guys.
Well, it is kind of funny that like, it was always a thing that like the boy just got 1 ear pierced.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you were talking about eyebrows, but you know what I mean? Like that used to be like,
well, that was like an indicator for some people in the gay community to kind of show that, like, yes, I am gay. Like if you want to hook up, like,
gotcha.
Here it is. Here's a visual cue. But then it kind of obviously as kind of gay rights have strengthened and sort of people have become a little more comfortable in their sexuality, that has kind of faded away. So you just wear what you want.
Right.
Wear what you want, where you want.
Because I think I got 1 ear pierced first. It was just 1. And then I got 2 eventually. And then I like put gauges in them. But
that's fun. I've never had my ears pierced, just my eyebrow. I miss my eyebrow piercing. It was fun. I always wanted to get my lip pierced.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I never did it. And that's all I got to say about that. It just didn't happen. So great talking point.
How did we get on this? Awesome. How did we get on this?
Piercings.
All right. Well, I don't know how we got there.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed 3 old, forgetful podcast hosts who cannot maintain a talking point because our memory is starting to fade. It is the brain is growing decrepit.
I don't think it had anything to do with anything. That's why I wasn't talking.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck.
But
anyways,
so specific. What
the
fuck are you talking about?
Huh.
Oh. This is kind of validating because I have a bad memory. So for all of us to have this shared experience is kind of making me feel good about myself.
Hey, don't bring me into this.
Casey, you keep forgetting everything.
Anyways, okay. Well, I've got 18 reveals with an honorable mention. Like you said, that's probably too much, but let's get into it. Right off the bat, you've got a very Nightmare on Elm Street-esque opening sequence.
Yeah.
And that is my first reveal when we get Art the Clown putting on makeup and making some kind of weapon or weapons. So here's a question. Later, he's pulling all these weapons out of his garbage bag, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that garbage bag rip with all those blades in it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Guys, don't get mad. Get Glad.
Oh, he's wearing. That's right.
He's using a Glad.
He's using
bag.
a Glad.
Yeah, you're not going to rip through that.
But we are watching a movie about a supernatural clown.
Yes.
Who I didn't realize was, I mean, I guess it's implied that he's supernatural, but I didn't quite realize how supernatural or if he was, in fact, supernatural until later.
They say it at the very beginning.
They do?
Yeah.
What do they say?
You guys.
What?
The
like
girl
when
who's
she's
on
talking
TV.
on the talk show?
Oh, during the
You guys know that's Vicky,
the
right?
quote unquote. Yeah.
Well, you find that out at the end, yeah.
Right, but she says, the woman interviewing her says, how do you feel about him mysteriously leaving the morgue that night?
Right.
I guess now in hindsight, I realized what happened to him in the end of the movie. Spoiler alert, he kills himself. So then I guess I just didn't consider that in my thought process when I was setting up, like making my reveals at the beginning. So now that makes sense.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, he's definitely supernatural of some kind. But like in the beginning, you wouldn't realize that because he's like, it looks like just like a man putting on makeup.
Yes.
Well, so does Michael Myers. So does, well, Jason Voorhees doesn't, I guess. But.
Right.
But yeah, I counted that as my first reveal too of, I didn't make that Freddy Krueger reference. Good call. There's another horror movie, classic, iconic character who gets a little kind of nod later on in the movie.
I
think we all know.
Is it in the music you're talking about?
No, I was talking about Leatherface.
What? Oh my gosh. I'm so excited because I don't know what you're talking about, what reference you're talking about.
It's a little bit of a stretch, but I was like, it just was the first thing that popped in my head. So,
well, we will get to that because now I'm curious. So my next reveal is an honorable mention.
Okay, same.
Because I didn't you don't find out until later. I was confused a little bit. Is when Victoria, which you find out later is Victoria, kills the TV host.
Mm-hmm.
I counted it.
And in the dressing room. Because like she's not the monster that we're talking about. So I used it as an honorable mention.
Right. That's what I did too.
But the honorable mention was like in hindsight or like going back because I counted it as a reveal because I was like, how is she? What's going on here? I was confused.
I counted it only because I just assumed, because I had no obviously like understanding of like who this character was. I just figured that they were a villain because they killed someone. So I was like, either they're working with Art or they're working on their own and they just are a villain, or ... they are something else that again we'll get to later. I would count it as a reveal.
Okay.
Unless you guys completely disagree and we can just like chalk it off as an honorable mention because it's not Art.
I say honorable.
Honorable?
Because it's not Art.
And I still don't know, like, and you know, maybe there can be some thought as we go through this, but I still don't know why she killed the lady.
She went nuts. She literally just went nuts.
Oh, I have a very different theory.
Actually, I don't even want to talk about that.
Okay.
Because it's in part 2.
Oh.
And if Zach, you don't know what I'm talking about, that's because you didn't watch After the Credits.
After the credits of this one or part 2?
Part 2.
Okay. Yeah,
but with that being said, since I haven't seen part 2, whatever I'm going to say, we don't have to go into a deep discussion. And we don't have to spoil, we don't have to spoil anything about the sequel, but I would at least like to open the bag of like where my head was at by the end of this movie.
The garbage bag. Nice.
Yes. The Glad garbage bag. Brought to you by Glad. People, when you're throwing out the trash, as you do, don't get mad. Get Glad. We got our first sponsor, you guys.
Yeah. But no, Casey, back to what you were saying about part 2 and not watching after the credits. by the time the credits rolled in part 2, I was so ready to turn it off.
It's long.
Because it's so long.
It's long.
And we've mentioned this before.
Or the movie's long?
The movie
is long. Like,
how
we've
long
mentioned this before. They have like, it's got like Lord of the Rings endings where it's like, this is the end. Oh, nope, we got more. And then, oh, this is the end. Nope, there's more. This is the end.
Yeah. It is long. This one, however, 85 minutes, not a pound of fat.
No.
Yeah.
All of it's carved off the bone.
Yeah. Okay, so let's keep going.
Okay. Yes. Okay, so I'm working it out. We've got one reveal, one honorable mention. We are now on to
seeing Art the Clown.
Oh, this messes up my fantastic joke.
Oh, man.
It was just genius, and now it doesn't stand. I was going to say third reveal, more like turd reveal.
Oh.
And it's when
that's not even true.
Tara and Dawn. Well, I have it when Tara and Dawn see Art in the. I know it doesn't really count,
but they see him before that in the street anyway.
I know, but I counted all that as like the same. Like they see him in the alley, and then they kind of segue into the pizza place, and in the pizza place, he does his business.
Yeah, I am with you there, Danny. I counted the street and the pizza place. I like the pizza place was like a continuation of that reveal.
Yeah.
Of them seeing him on the street for the first time. That's how I marked it.
Unfortunately, it is no longer the turd reveal because it is the second reveal. Oh, it's the number 2 reveal.
Yes. We knew we'd get a poop joke out of
this.
Good job, Danny.
Thank you.
So here's the thing is, technically it is the third reveal because in the pizza place though, he's being revealed to the pizza people.
Oh yeah.
That's good.
Good point.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we get 2 and 3 pretty much in right after the
rapid
other.
succession.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Okay.
Yep.
And then within that, he's like gives her the ring and stuff.
Yeah, he gives her the ring. And dude, like I knew that Dee was gonna go at some point in the movie. Yeah. And I almost didn't blame Art the Clown after she like just like forced herself onto him and took the pictures and like turned his. I was like, Art, just do what you need to do to her.
Get her.
So
do whatever you need to do.
I tried to watch this movie years ago, like when it first came out, and I couldn't because of Dawn, because she was so annoying. I couldn't stand it. So annoying.
Oh, okay. So her name is Dawn. That's right. That's right. Okay.
And then a few years later, my brother was like, you just gotta forget about her. You gotta just find a way to put up with her because I know that you'll like this movie.
Yeah, your hatred of her will pay off later. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And here I am.
Yeah. We still haven't quite hooked you. We haven't gotten you into the Terrifier universe yet. We'll
almost
get there. We got you dressed up. You committed to that, but
one of Dawn is so annoying, and then by the end of the movie, you have 2 of Dawn. It's almost too much.
Because she's cut in half.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, this movie definitely plays into the whole like horror movie trope where you just want the main characters to die. Like it's like the Friday the 13th sequels.
Tara's not annoying.
No. Suppose not.
Danny's like,
why does she annoy you?
No, she didn't. She's fine.
I mean,
that's not like a criticism of the actors. It's just the characters that they're playing. And they are very much of that sort of like classic horror movie, serial killer victim. It's just like, okay, I'm not really losing anything if the killer offs them in this universe.
Well, he did.
Personally, yeah. Not necessarily.
And our final girl became
that
Vicky.
said, she puts up a great fight. So it is a bummer to see. It's that little psycho twist where the so-called main character kind of meets their fate earlier than maybe we were anticipating.
Mm-hmm. Tara wasn't my favorite, but I still was like, oh shit, when she gets it later on in the movie, I was like, oh fuck, really?
Yeah, you
like,
weren't expecting it.
You just wanted her to get away, you know?
But that's part of what I liked.
Like Vicky. I really liked the sister,
yeah,
Victoria.
Yeah, who gets set up around this time after they go outside and they have their, maybe, I don't mean to be like fast forwarding too much, but Tara and Dawn have their interaction with Art, and then they realize that their tire's flat, and she calls her sister Vic, and that is kind of like setting up something that maybe we don't realize is necessarily a setup, because we think we're following these two characters.
Yeah.
Right.
But then we go back into the pizza place.
Yeah. So that's my fourth reveal. Well, I don't know what number we're on as a whole here.
I don't either.
What the hell what was I thinking doing this? I wrote third reveal continued. What?
When they get murdered?
Why did I do that?
When he turns his head into a jack-o'-lantern?
Yeah.
Because it's like the pizza place, I guess, but he had left and now he's coming back.
Yeah.
And,
well, it wasn't easy. That's why I didn't number mine, because it's like he had just met them, but then he fucking kills them. So
right. Yeah, like that's when they find out that he's a monster is when he cuts their head off.
Technically introduced to him earlier, but then they're introduced to him as a monster.
Yeah.
And I do love how they lean into especially for our triple feature, they really lean into that Halloween theatricality with him doing the jack-o'-lantern kill with
I love the
Ramon's.
jack-o'-lantern head.
No, not Ramon's head. It's the other guy. Ramon he gets his face hacked.
Yeah.
Which Halloween 2018 did that same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And this came out 2 years prior. Yeah. So I wonder if they jacked that little jack-o'-lantern. They jacked that lantern. That jack-o'-lantern gag.
Well, look at Damien Leone now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny because the new Halloween movies were pretty vicious compared to kind of Halloween of old and Michael Myers of old. So there is kind of, I would not say that Michael Myers is as gruesome, I guess, as Art, but he's more Art in the later movies. You know, he really kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? He really like basks in the kills. Like he doesn't want to he doesn't want it to end. Like there's that scene in Halloween Kills when he keeps putting the knives in that one victim. So he's kind of getting the pleasure out of the torture and the act rather than just the finish, the kill. I don't know. They are kind of actually Michael Myers and Art the Clown are very similar. Michael is pretty theatrical, especially in the first one. He dresses up as like the ghost. You know, he hangs bodies up everywhere. He puts Judith's body in the bed with the gravestone or the headstone. Mm-hmm. And it's funny that they both kill on Halloween. Mm-hmm. So it's sort of like, let's use this holiday to kind of embellish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're back in the pizza place. You said Ramon is his name, who has to clean up
He's
fucking
whoever's the one who dies second.
Yeah.
That's Ramon, yeah.
The one who gets stuck cleaning the bathroom.
The first one is Steve.
Okay. Oh, God, that bathroom.
Yeah, you like that? You like all that poopy?
I don't like poop stuff.
No, it was just like, just the way they made it look. Oh, gross.
I think it was frosting.
Well, I wouldn't want to eat it.
Now I want some cake. What?
Yeah.
But Ramon gets his fingers chopped off.
He gets his fucking hand, like...
Yeah, just like right across the...
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's good
and
shit.
And then his face, Art does a little ditty on his face.
A little ditty. Just hacks away
Mangles
at
it all up. Yep.
So that would bring us to our fifth reveal.
Which is Art gets in the car with Dawn.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're on the track now.
And that's when Tara leaves her to go. She has to pee. So they're in like this whole like industrial neighborhood in the middle of the night. So she goes into pee. And that's when, Yeah,
we meet the exterminator who says he's about to bomb. He says he's about to bug bomb the place. But he never does. He's just spraying all the corners and cracks and crevices.
Well, maybe that's what he's starting out, and then he gets murdered before he can bomb the building.
Well, I think that you're like, they put the thing over, like put like the circus tent over the building and they bomb it and they all this stuff.
I didn't trust him from the beginning.
His name's Mike, by the way.
Mike.
Yeah, what are his working hours, by the way? It's the middle of the night. what if it's a Halloween costume and he's just like in character?
Oh.
And he's like nervous because this person came in and he's like, maybe she owns the building. So he's like,
Gotta play the part.
I'm extinguishing insects.
Well, no, because we have the other exterminator later on
Oh yeah.
that comes to help him.
He like
Otherwise-
looks at him. He's like, play the part. Just come in.
Come on. Otherwise, Danny, that's a great theory.
Yeah. But Art gets in the car with Dawn, and she had just heard on the radio that like these people at the pizza place had been killed, and there was an eyewitness of the assailant, and he's a clown wearing black and white makeup and carrying a garbage bag or something like that. And so she's freaked out, and then it's that classic like they never look to see who's getting in the car. They just start talking to them, assuming it's the person that they want to get in the car, and then it never
So
is.
how about my hatred of clowns? Oh my God, it's a clown.
Yeah.
But my next reveal is when Art, Tara comes down the stairs. I think she's coming down the stairs, and Art is standing there with a scalpel, and he's got like his hands out or whatever. And then he does like a little, like kind of like a fake, like he like jumps at her a little bit.
Yeah, he does
but
that a
like
lot.
doesn't really go. And then she takes off. And this is where, Danny, I thought you were talking about this reference earlier. They start playing notes from the Halloween theme in this.
Maybe I like subconsciously just accepted this movie as like.
They do it a couple times, and I was like, oh shit.
I love the score of this movie.
It's just like the same note. It's like a repeating note. Like, I don't, it's really cool. But I was like, oh, that's definitely the Halloween theme. Yeah. And this is where, okay, like we're kind of like in this building where the rest of the movie is going to take place. Kind of this like garage industrial thing like you had mentioned before. Okay. So this is where it's going to start to get a little confusing, because now that Art has already been introduced to Tara, I still have reveals of when she gets away and he comes back again.
Yeah.
So my next reveal is when she is trying to get the attention of Mike the Exterminator, and Art grabs her and injects her with the sedative stuff.
But Mike never sees him.
No, it's still another reveal to Tara.
Yeah, I included this as one kind of, again, like kind of a sequence within one quote unquote reveal. I have Art drugs Tara, kills Dawn, and then, hacks her, like cuts her in half. So I just kind of, that was like one thing where kind of Tara is drugged and then she's witnessing what he's doing. So it's kind of like within one thing.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. That is disgusting, thoroughly. Mm-hmm. Good effect.
How are you guys, when you hear a movie is disgusting? Like when we watched Society, I had this kind of happened with me where I had heard so much, it was talked up, and the movie is disgusting. It's just like, it's gross. However, it's that thing that we've talked about a lot where the imagination can kind of get away from us a little bit, and what you imagine happening maybe isn't as bad as what ends up happening. Was that the case for you in this movie?
I was very pleased.
You're very pleased.
Casey, this does not apply to you. Casey loved this movie. Did it?
Because like,
had you heard that it was like disgusting? Did it meet your expectations? Exceed? But where did it go in terms of like your expectations?
I mean, it met my expectations. The second one exceeded my expectations.
Interesting.
See, I saw the second one first.
Yeah, the second one's worse,
and
gorier.
There's the bedroom scene.
Yeah.
I don't remember any other kills in that besides the bedroom scene.
Oh.
I just like can't picture any. But this one, I had heard it was gross. You know, I knew that number 2, everyone said like it tops number 1. So like I'd already had like this kind of like level set with
so
the
funny. Sorry.
Oh, what's that?
I'm thinking about you not being able to think of other people that died in the second movie.
Yeah. Okay. So in the second one, this is what I can remember. A scene in a Halloween shop.
Yes.
The bedroom scene.
Yes.
And then the fight at the end with like the sword. That's what I can remember.
There's a laundromat. There's a clown cafe.
Laundromat, remember. Clown Cafe?
Yeah.
Oh, there's like the TV show thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's a big one.
That's a big one. Yeah. Okay, but like with this one, I was more gross. I thought the movie exceeded my expectations.
This movie did?
This one or the second?
With the hacksaw
with Dawn.
hanging scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I knew it was going to be gross, but I was like, okay, like how bad could it be?
Yeah.
And then the way they did it, I was like thoroughly disgusted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially just with that one, really. The other kills were kind of like, they were gross, but.
Even the scene where he scalps and detests the woman and wears them.
Yeah.
We technically already saw that happen in the house that Jack built.
Oh yeah. Dude, he was so creepy when he's wearing those.
I know. He's like
those boobies, and he's like, oh, that was creepy.
I want to get a tattoo of that.
I had never seen that. Was such a jarring visual. I'm surprised I had never seen that before. Anytime I've seen anything that's Art the Clown, it's always just like his classic outfit. But that was disturbing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so next I have, and I want to find a different word for this. In my notes, which I'm prefacing that I want to change, I have Art is revealed to the crazy woman.
The cat lady.
I think she's called the cat lady.
Yeah.
The cat lady?
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to get rid of that word crazy.
I know.
Because I just didn't like the way that made me feel when I wrote the crazy woman.
Well, that's another like dated carryover of like a word that was kind of used casually back in the day, and nowadays maybe let's be a little more sensitive to people.
Yeah, exactly. And like she's got the little baby doll that she calls her baby, and Emily.
Yeah, we met the cat lady back after she goes inside to pee.
Okay. What happens there?
Are you talking about when he shoots Tara?
Oh yeah, he shoots Tara, and
she escapes or tries to.
Yeah, that's where the cat lady sees him shoot her again, and she like freaks out and runs away. But then Art,
I have it where cat lady sees Art and kind of starts like treating him like a baby, like mothering him because he has her baby, her doll.
Okay, but before that, Art hits Mike the Exterminator with a hammer.
Yeah.
Oh, is that before that?
In the head. Yeah. Because the cat lady goes to Mike and she's like, you got to call the police. Like there's somebody here. You got to call the cops. And he's like, you're freaking me out, lady. Get away from me.
Yeah.
And he runs down the stairs and he calls whoever.
Exterminator number 2.
Exterminator number 2. And
Halloween costume guest number 2.
And Art comes up behind him and hits him in the head with a hammer.
Okay.
But not before turning around. So for like a second, the exterminator knows what's happening to him.
Okay.
It's like real quick. And then Art has the cat lady's baby doll, Emily. And he's sitting there and she, like you said, she starts to like mother him and she's very sweet to him. And he starts to suck his thumb, which was interesting.
Yeah. Well, the whole movie is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Do you guys think it was sincere or was he just fucking with her? Was he just kind of leaning into her, like the fact that she's so maternal?
Well, I mean, the next time we see him, he's wearing her tits and her hair. So I think that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But considering
was it like a thing where he just like snapped out of it?
Yeah.
No, I think he was just using
her?
it as a ploy to get close to her.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay. Because I want to know, like, yeah, I mean, I guess if you think about it, like Supernatural or like Michael Myers and all that, did they just get killed and come back? For some reason, I'm like itching to find like an origin of Art the Clown. Like how is he supernatural? Like where?
Maybe we'll get the answer in the third one.
He's one of Santa's helpers.
Yeah, and if he is supernatural, even beyond like the origin, like what is the purpose? You know?
Yeah.
What is the purpose of his? If it's just to be evil, you know, like he's like the Loki.
Yeah.
You know, it's just to be menacing. That's fine. Yeah, I'm curious too.
Yeah, there's those times where it's like, oh, you don't need an explanation because it ruins it.
Mm-hmm.
I personally want an explanation.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know where he's from.
Yeah, I mean, they play with the idea a little bit in the second one.
Okay. Yeah.
Which you obviously don't remember since you don't remember anything about that movie.
Well,
Well, isn't part 3 is a Christmas movie, right?
Yeah.
And Christmas is about the story of the birthing of the baby Jesus. Maybe we're about to see the origins of the birthing of the baby Art.
oh my God.
Maybe you should watch after the
Casey's
credits
like,
of part
"Danny,
2.
Just watch part 2.
Is it time for the How I Met Your Monster conspiracy theory of the week?
Oh my God. Zach, hit it.
You're telling me that NASA is going to kill the President of the United States with an earthquake.
Not exactly the kind of thing a Secret Service agent can just throw himself on top of. The whole Vietnam War was fought over a bet. Howard Hughes lost to Aristotle Onassis. This is our 3rd issue this year. Conspiracy theory.
Is Art the Clown Jesus Christ? Art the Clown is Jesus Christ?
Jesus Christ.
Well,
I would worship him.
there goes. There it goes. That's it. That's what I got.
Sorry, I ruined it for you.
It's okay.
That's it.
Yeah. So he may have been sincere. He may have been not sincere with the thumb sucking. But either way, he snaps out of it. And
God, there's nothing more than I hate than insincere thumb sucking.
isn't it the worst?
If you're gonna do it, make it count.
That's actually my real monster. People who
Make
suck
it
their
count.
thumbs and don't really mean it. You ever see a dude sucking his thumb in the grocery store and you're like, do you even mean that?
To be honest, it happens so often I don't even really notice it anymore. Casey's like, what?
There's there's that place called Fuddruckers. It's just called Thumb Suckers. And you like go in and you're like, oh, what is this? And it's just everybody's like, you go there to suck your thumb. That's fucking weird.
That was the plot of the movie Thumbsucker.
No, I don't know that movie.
No, it's literally, it's one of those like early 2000 like indie dramedies.
Sure.
And it's about this teenager who kind of like compulsively sucks his thumb. So he goes to a therapist, doctor, whatever.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he goes to a thumb sucking convention.
Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe he does. I don't remember the ending. For all I know, they kind of like push the compulsion. But
are there thumb sucking competitions?
Probably. There's competition for everything.
You would hope so. Yeah.
What would they be competing? Like what would be
maybe
the
like
competition?
who can prune their skin faster?
Yeah. Yeah. Or just who can suck it the longest.
Yeah. Or maybe it's like there's like an audio, like
Ew,
really
no.
like get
Stop
those
it.
suction
Stop it.
sounds. Like
Get out of here. Shut up.
Okay, so back to the show. Art sits up wearing the woman's hair and her boobies.
Guys, this is what I was talking about earlier. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is so Leatherfacey.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Removing parts from someone else and wearing them.
Yeah, I want to say it's like Texas Chainsaw 2.
Mm-hmm.
Where she has to like wear the dude's face to like hide.
I haven't seen it.
What? Oh, Casey, you should check out part 2 because it's like a totally different vibe than part 1.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Zach like kind of geared me up for it, warmed me up to it. I don't know what I'm saying, but
Revved you up. Revved you up. It's a chainsaw.
Yeah, he revved me up. Oh yeah, chainsaw. Oh duh. I love part 2 a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
But this is a reveal because this is when Vicky sees him for the first time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. This is my man, where are we at on the official count?
Okay, so we should be at 9. So the last 8 was Dawn's death. So let's see.
Well, no, because then he had. You're way far behind.
Yeah.
We've got the cat lady. We've got the Mike the Exterminator.
Oh my god.
Kills Tara. Yeah.
So I don't care about the order. So I'm going to do 9 is Mike. 10 is cat lady. 11 is Vicky?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're back. So that's 11. So yeah, so that's the whole Leatherface scene, essentially.
Yep.
Okay.
If we want to give it a name.
Okay.
I love that part.
Oh, dude, it was so creepy.
There's a girl there's a tattoo artist in Ohio that drew him with the chest and the hair as like a pinup girl.
Oh my gosh.
And it's very cute.
You know, I'm surprised that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise, for as many sequels as there are, hasn't kind of gone this direction with like the whole, because this was disturbing. Whereas maybe it's just because there are so many sequels in Texas Chainsaw that I'm not necessarily desensitized, but you kind of like know what you're getting, you know, like Leatherface is just kind of put on your face.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This really this threw me. This messed me up.
What do you mean it hasn't gone this direction? I'm confused.
Like putting
Other
on
than
like
wearing
the
a
body
face?
part. Yeah, like just kind of like wearing the full body, which I guess makes
Gotcha.
sense. Leather face. It's not leather body.
It's not leather boobs.
Yeah, leather
boobs.
That's his successor is leather boobs.
Man, the name Leatherface, what a cool fucking horror villain name.
Right?
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
we're talking about Art the Clown.
Yeah. Also a very cool horror name.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, you know, you get like Pennywise and it's, you know, it's Pennywise the clown. And then there's like it, like some people say it because they do refer to it as, they do refer to him as it.
AKA he also goes by Bob Gray.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, but this is just like Art the Clown.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Simple.
It's short, sweet. You can confuse it with Fart the Brown if you want.
Mm-hmm. Or Marsh the Darsh.
Or Marsh the Darsh.
Or Marsh the Darsh.
Or Dart the Crown.
Yeah.
Like if you're playing darts and you're like
and you win.
Champion dart thrower.
Yeah.
You're Dart the Crown.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of tired of that name. You know, I'm always winning dart throwing competitions.
Well, if you'd stop wearing that crown.
I know. I should just take the crown off and stop holding darts everywhere I go. Kind of asking for it.
Does the second exterminator have a name? I want to say it's Ryan. No?
No, it's Exterminator number 2.
Exterminator number 2. I don't know where I got Ryan from.
Why do I have Will written down?
Check the IMDb. It's Exterminator number 2.
I believe you.
I'm talking to Danny.
Oh.
Where did I get Will?
I don't know.
Wait, no. That's where I got it. I went on Wikipedia. Mike's coworker, Will.
He's credited as Exterminator number 2.
Yeah, but that's just Latin for Will. Everyone knows that.
The Latin origin
so.
of Will is Exterminator number 2.
He's a man of many hats.
I love how he's the most complex character of this movie.
So he would be our 12th reveal. And Art does he's into doing ditties, and he does a ditty on this guy's neck.
He does, yeah. He just hacks that shit.
And you know what was so cool, though? Is that, and I think it might be a screwdriver. First, he like stabs him in the skull with a screwdriver. And then he like uses that to hold on to his head as he's sawing the neck off. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, it's like a little handle.
Guys.
He's so creative.
Art the Clown, more like Art the Inventor.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an engineer.
But here's the thing. There's a twist here. I marked this as an honorable mention. Because technically, he never meets Art. It kind of happens without him.
Because he cuts him from behind.
Okay.
Because it's not like we don't know Art.
That's still very much somebody is killing you.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I'm fine. That's
Dude,
fine.
could you imagine just being like standing there and just like all of a sudden someone's like a screwdriver just like slams into your skull?
Ugh.
I keep saying it's a screwdriver. I think it's a screwdriver, but I think I'm going back to Return of the Living Dead 2, where
I've never seen any of the movies in that franchise, by the way.
This is something that goes back to my childhood because I think it was my neighbor.
Used to be a zombie.
He told me about this scene when I was a kid, and then I had to go watch the movie, but they stabs the one zombie head with a screwdriver. and it's like just a head cut off, but it's like still talking. And he's like, "Get that damn screwdriver out of my head." It was really funny.
We need to do that franchise eventually. I've never seen that.
Oh, that would be so fun. Yeah. We're talking about Art the Clown riding a fucking tricycle.
We're not, though. Now we are.
Now we are. Mm-hmm. Why? Was he just like, because he was just having fun?
Because he's a clown.
When in Rome.
Yeah. Actually, it
Clowns
wasn't a
do stuff like
tricycle.
that.
It was just like a little two-wheeled.
Yeah, it's a miniature bicycle. Little clowns. Yeah, clowns. It's a clown bike.
A clown bike.
It's a bicycle.
I'm serious. You don't believe me?
I do believe you.
If you Google clown bike, you're going to find a tiny little bicycle.
Imagine if there was a clown car and like one after another was like different iterations and versions of art, and you were just like alone.
Oh.
Ugh.
It's like Into the Spider-Verse, but it's like Into the Artverse.
Yes. And everyone's like, Artverse, like, are we talking like watercolors? And it's like, no, Art the Clown, like the killer.
Uh-huh. There's like a Porky Pig Art the Clown, and like
he's the worst.
A noir Art the Clown.
Yeah.
Which he's already black and white, so I don't know how you do that. But
played by Nicolas Cage.
Dude, yeah. Nicolas Cage is Art the Clown.
Oof.
Okay.
So we keep getting
Tiny
sidetracked.
bicycle.
Yeah.
That's Nicolas Cage, though.
Yeah, I love the part when he tries to suffocate her.
Do you?
I do.
Do you like the fact that he tries to suffocate her, or the fact that she is able to escape?
No, I just like how intense it is.
It is pretty intense.
Because like he's really doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, you know, you never know until you're in the situation and whatever. But like, I was surprised she didn't poke a hole in her mouth earlier.
Yeah.
They actually say that that's kind of a common thing because people kind of go into shock.
Sure. Yeah. You're like freaked out and like you can't think straight probably because you don't know what's going on. But when she does rip it and he kind of looks at it like,
I know.
What the fuck?
What happened?
You know what I mean?
He's so cute.
What number is that for us?
That would be.
I don't know if that counts or not. I was just saying that.
I wouldn't count that either because we're on to Will was 12, and then my next reveal after that is Mike getting his head stomped in. So we have a few things that happen that kind of lead up to that. Where like Vic finds Tara's corpse, which I guess is pretty notable. And Mike. Oh wow, I wrote Mike, but I was looking at Vic, so I wrote Mick saves Vic, but there is no Mick, it's Mike. So Mike saves Vic. I was like, what the fuck? What am
I love it
about?
too when she's getting, because he made that cat of nine tails in the beginning. Like you watched him make it, and then he uses it on her.
Oh yeah, that was. It had like it was like a. So for visual sake here, it was like it had like a handle and a chain, and then on the end of the chain it had like scissors and scalpels. Maybe just those two things, but like a bunch of them. And he like started whipping her with it.
Gross.
Oh my
Goes
God.
to town.
Oh,
It's good stuff.
So we agree the 13th reveal of this movie is Mike the Head Stomp.
Mike the Head Stomper.
Yeah. Oh,
yep.
Imagine if you were like a Viking and your name was Mike the Head Stomper.
Oh God, that would be so scary to meet you in battle.
And then you're like, ships are sailing in, sir. Whose boat is it? It's Mike the Head Stomper. It's like, let's look and get out of Dodge. This sounds terrible.
I just remembered I have like a work meeting I have to get to.
Oh, I gotta go.
Like, why are you looking at your wrist? What is that all about? It's like they didn't have watches then.
Oh, what's a watch? I gotta.
When were watches invented? Did Vikings have watches?
It was right after Viking time.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Once the Vikings died off, watches everywhere.
But I really wanted Mike to make it. I did. I was like, you know, whether he did just have a Halloween costume on and he wasn't an exterminator, who knows? But I was like, yeah. He seemed like he was smart, you know. He like the 911 lady's like, stay on the line. He's like, fuck you, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
He's like, just get here. We're going away. But But yeah, that head stomp was pretty intense. And then you see him later in the morgue and like his face is all smashed.
This happens again in Halloween in the 2018 movie.
Jesus.
Guy gets his head stomped. A cop. Isn't there two? There's two cops. One of the cop gets gets jack-o'-lanterned, and the second one gets head stomped.
Wow.
What the fuck? You made like...
They were like, this movie is never going to make any money. We can just take all of his ideas and reap all of the benefits.
Damn, yeah. David Gordon Green, Danny McBride. Are they
David Gordon Steele in this movie?
I was going to say more like David Gordon Greed.
Oh yeah,
because he's greedy with ideas, and Danny
more like David
Bribe.
hoarding ideas Green.
Yeah. Dude, so my next reveal would be to the cops.
Yes, same.
Yep.
Which also basically lines up with someone's, well, not fate. We'll get there.
He eats Victoria's face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, considering, like...
I mean, this whole movie makes sense.
He's built up an appetite, essentially, is what I'm trying to say by the end of this movie.
Of course. He's been working very hard.
Yeah. But yeah, he does. He eats her face. It's pretty awful.
Well, he didn't eat any pizza at the beginning.
I want pizza.
Why did she get hit by the car anyways?
What do you mean?
Because when she stabs him and she runs to escape, and then he kind of comes out of nowhere and like...
Yeah, but like I feel like she could have escaped that car.
A lot of things could have gone differently.
Yeah.
All right, theory.
It's true.
Gonna throw this out there. Did she want to die?
This is all a ploy for her to kill the talk show host.
Yes. Yeah. She's like, I have a feeling we'll get there someday.
She needs to get on that show.
If I know the guests they try to get on, I need to stage this correctly. It's going to be a long con. Oh, yeah. We haven't even gotten to that. I have questions. Okay. So, yeah. So cops meet in our 14th reveal as cops.
Yeah. I really thought he was going to shoot the cops.
Yeah. A lot of, they definitely play with the subversion in this movie.
Yeah, so he shoots Tara, and he's got this gun in his thing, and there's sort of like this, this is a question for you guys, but I have to set it up. There's sort of like this, there was a lot of backlash when the Scream 6 trailer was released, because when Ghostface has the shotgun in the little bodega,
yeah,
and people are like, why does he have a gun, blah, blah, blah. And then other people are like, well, he used the gun in the first one and lots of other ones as well.
He uses the gun in almost every movie.
Every one. But like, there's this thing where it's like, it threw me for a second because he's like a quote unquote like slasher, right?
Sure.
Art to climb, and then like he has a gun and you're like, whoa. I didn't mind it, but when he pulled it out, I was like, oh shit. You know what I mean?
I get sick of people,
Yeah. You gotta just, sometimes
it's easy.
Yeah. What do you guys think about quote unquote slashers using guns?
I think it depends on context. Like even the way he kills Tara in this movie it's not like she just gets shot. He still uses the gun to mutilate her, which is pretty like an aggressive spin on like
I think he's just killing people.
Violence. Yeah.
What if Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees used a gun?
That's a good question, because you have Jason, who has used a harpoon gun in the third movie, but that has a different feel to it.
And also in Jason Takes Manhattan.
Oh, 8, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There is something
Did you guys bat an eye at that?
No. There is something about a gun. Something about a gun feels very like, and maybe because we're sort of kind of subconsciously or consciously kind of making like a correlation to like, I don't know. I think of gun violence with like cowboys or cops or mobsters. So to see, it feels jarring to see someone who's known for, utilizing like bladed weapons with something that's so quick. Because even like a harpoon is technically a blade.
Yes.
I don't know. I think depends on context. Like you mentioned the Scream movies, and with them, it's a little different because they are just kind of mortals. They're just people.
Mm-hmm.
And even when Ghostface has the gun in part 6, they do that as like a way to, it's like a heightening tool. You know, it's, where do you go in part 6? Give him a sawed-off shotgun, and all of a sudden you feel like you're dealing with a completely different type of Ghostface. So I think that was like a great move. As far as like Michael Myers using it, I guess context is important.
Yeah.
If he was going around just like with a gun shooting people, that would feel weird. But if he happened upon a gun, wait, no, Michael does have a gun in part 4.
Is that when they're on like this?
But he stabs someone with it.
When they're like on the staircase.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to, shoot him or whatever. He like doesn't load it and faster, and like he grabs it.
But he stabs somebody with, is it a fucking bayonet?
He puts it right through his stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Michael is like so set on being a slasher that he like has a gun and he's like,
he's too stupid.
He's gonna stab you with it.
He is. He's dumb. He doesn't know how to use it.
That's also fair because like using a knife or like a blunt instrument or blunt object is very like Cro-Magnon, like
barbaric.
Yeah,
barbaric. That's a better word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Michael Myers doesn't have opposable thumbs.
He never evolved.
There's a whole scene of him trying to like pull. He's like cocking the gun and he can't quite get it. He's like, God damn it.
But Art has a gun and he uses it.
Yeah.
He even has an extra clip in his little garbage bag.
Yeah, I just don't think that, I don't know, it wasn't even a question to me because he's just taunting people and torturing them and murdering them in whatever ways he can or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I didn't mind it. I just, for a second, I didn't expect him to pull out a gun. But anyways. So now that he has eaten Victoria's face, shot himself in the face in front of the cops, now he's going to the coroner's, I want to say coroner's office, coroner's morgue. I don't know what that place was.
Again, it was the basement of the building that they were shooting everything else in.
Yeah. It's a set of a porno.
Yeah.
A dark porno.
Yeah. I was like, oh man, like I understood, budget restraints and all that, but I was like, damn, look at this what's a coroner's place called?
A morgue.
Oh,
a morgue. A morgue, a medical examiner's office.
Yeah.
It's like that scene in Scream 4 when he's like, you sound like you're in the hospital. He's like, I can send you there to the morgue. I was like, Ghostface.
Clever.
Good one.
But so we're about to see Art the Clown in the body bag, and the coroner opens the bag, and then all the lights start going crazy.
Yes.
Is there some kind of connection between that and Art's supernatural abilities?
Probably. That's when he resurrecting himself.
Yeah. Okay.
I have questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, lights flicker. There's clearly some like supernatural thing. Art's back despite shooting himself in the face.
Yeah.
And then we get the reveal at the end that Vic is the woman from the opening scene who had her face,
mangled.
destroyed. Mangled.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So one question is it kind of like the idea posited that Art transferred his soul into Vic?
No.
And then used her to kind of kill the host. The reason why I ask is this. Oh my God. It's so twisty because in the beginning, am I misremembering this? In the opening, Art is watching the news program, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of the interview.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a year later.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Because she doesn't seem malicious at that point, Vic. She's obviously like been tortured and harmed. Mm-hmm. But it almost seems like there's a point where maybe he like possessed her.
I'm not going to
like,
say anything unless you care about spoilers from part 2.
Yeah.
If you don't care, then we'll talk about it. If you care, then we have no answers for you.
Okay. Well, then I'll leave that aside. We'll revisit that someday. Like, my thought was that Art like somehow like possessed her to kill? Because why would she just kill her? You know, like, why would she so aggressively come out? Second question: when he's watching the scene in the beginning, so the beginning of the movie is obviously the end of the movie, because obviously we find out that is Vic being interviewed. So when we first, in the opening sequence, we see him packing up the Glad bag with all of his weapons, right? Mm-hmm. And then we see him walking down the alley with the Glad bag, meeting Tara and Dawn.
It's a contractual obligation that you say Glad bag every time you say.
Yes. So the Glad bag, which cannot be punctured by steel points or blunt instruments or objects. Are we just led to believe that is just another... It just was coincidence that he has the bag after we see him packing it up? Because I was like, is this movie looping?
What are you talking about?
Where like he dies at the end and then it goes back, but then we see him packing his weapons into the bag, and the next time we see him, he's walking down the alley with that bag of weapons. But it's before he meets Vic.
I think that you're thinking about it way too much.
Do you know what I'm saying, though?
You're thinking the cut is... You're thinking the time cut is him watching the TV, him smashing the TV, him packing his stuff up, then a cut, and then him walking down the alley. But the cut is him watching the TV, smashing it, bam. That's it.
That's
cut.
it.
Him packing, then that's the year later part. Then the movie starts with him doing all his stuff and going down the street and everything, and then...
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
So that makes sense. So him smashing the TV is really the end of the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Time, like in terms of like chronological. Okay.
Yes.
Yep. And then him like making the little, what'd you call it, Casey? Cat of nine tails?
Cat of nine tails.
Him making that with all the stuff, like that is the beginning of that.
It just felt like such a stretch for Vic to be so, and again, maybe she just went through a lot of trauma, so it led to something. But like for her to just go in and like murder this woman,
and that's the thing.
Felt like it had some kind of influence.
I agree with you. I was like, what the fuck? But I think what Casey's saying is that at the end credits of part two, they explain why she did what she did.
Gotcha. Okay. God damn you for making me feel like I need to see part two.
I mean, you don't have to. If you don't care, we can just tell you.
No, Danny, if it's any consolation or any, I don't know, that's not the right word, but if it means anything to you, I think I liked part two better.
Okay.
Really?
Than part one. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Then you really did not like part one.
Why do you say that?
Because you said you didn't like part two. So.
Yeah, like you know, kind of like Danny was saying at the beginning of this episode, like they're just not my kind of movies. But that doesn't mean they're bad movies. It's just not at all. But I do think I like.
Yeah, like House 2, the second story. Not a bad movie, just not.
I love that movie.
My kind of horror movie.
And you know what it is? I think I liked the protagonist of part two better.
I
think maybe that's it. Why I liked it better. I don't know.
Maybe everybody loves Sienna.
Sienna.
Maybe it's a budget thing, because I had read that Damien Leone wished he had kind of emphasized more of the characters in the first movie. And I'm sure he was limited significantly by, a $35,000 movie, guys. That's the fact that he was able to get this. It's wild.
I mean, I don't know for sure, but you know, when you're making something like that, he probably didn't expect it to turn into something like this either. You know, he wasn't making it with the intention of all of this stuff, all of these things that he had done in this movie needing some sort of answers. You know,
Well, I'm glad he has the opportunity to.
Oh, me too. I can't wait to go see Terrifier 3 in theaters.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, like the trajectory of these movies and how much money part two made. Just
how much do we know? Do we have like numbers, or was it just like?
I think it was millions.
Wow.
Terrifier 2 box office.
That's why it's so important. Yeah, clearly Damien Leone knew exactly what he was doing. You know, he was very passionate about this. So to create something so iconic, it reminds me of Don Mancini creating Child's Play. I had heard some interviews with him kind of talking about how it was so important in terms of like maintaining the rights of the character to be like super descriptive in the screenplay. So it's like, this is my creation. It's not just like I made a movie about a killer doll. I made a movie about Chucky, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So for Damien Leone to kind of be where he is now with this character says a lot about kind of, it wasn't just like a cash grab. It wasn't just some throwaway movie. Like he clearly cares a lot about this franchise.
Right. So
yeah,
according to Google, and I don't know exactly where they're pulling this information from, but a Google search says that Terrifier 2's budget, well, it says Terrifier 1's budget was $35,000. Terrifier 2's budget was $250,000. And Terrifier 2's box office was $15.7 million. That is insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
Just wow.
Can you imagine?
Congratulations to Damien Leone and the whole team. The whole team there. Oh my god. So yeah,
what's the
that's
budget
pretty
on
cool.
3?
According to Google, the budget on Terrifier 3 is $2 million. So if Terrifier 2 was $250,000, and it is a big step up from Terrifier 1 in terms of production value. $2 million is going to be, yeah. Because he clearly knows how to use the budget in the right.
He's stretching those dollars.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he does a lot of the stuff himself.
That's smart.
Yeah.
So you wonder where this money's going to go. Like, what is? Oh, man, I'm excited. I am. You've got me. You know, I caught the bug. It may not be my cup of tea, but
you're interested to see what happens.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch.
It's hard to not.
I'll definitely watch Terrifier 3 for sure.
Yeah. I did hear about a scene during filming that apparently grossed someone out on set so much that they couldn't be present for it.
But do you know who it was?
Who?
It was David Howard Thornton.
No way. He
almost threw up.
Oh my god.
That's awful.
Okay, so yeah, I'm definitely going to check out Terrifier 3 for sure. But all right, are you guys ready to talk about our favorite reveals of Terrifier?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hold on here.
I don't see anything anywhere.
That's how they get you. They're under the goddamn ground.
I'm going with the pizza place scene.
Oh.
Not the poop. Not the poop. Just the very unsettling way he was sitting at that table, just staring at Tara, and like
that's pretty iconic.
Dawn comes up to him and she's doing all this stuff, and he like won't even fucking break eye contact with until Dawn turns his head and he's like, "Fuck you," you know what I mean? I don't know what that connection was between him and Tara, or if he just was like just picked her to be like his target. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was unsettling how he was like wouldn't break concentration. So that's what I'm going with.
Okay.
Yeah. Not him on the street beforehand, but just like in the pizza place. So
right.
Yeah.
Mine is when he's wearing the cat lady's chest and scalp.
That one was so good. I forgot about that. Shit.
That's a good one.
I mean, I guess I don't need to explain myself because you both agree, but it was just a lot of fun and it was unexpected and it was creepy.
Yeah. And just like the way he's kind of walking, like when he comes out, he's like, oh, yeah.
That was dark.
Mm-hmm.
I did when Art shoots himself in front of the cops.
Okay. Because
that like genuinely, it was like a true twist. I just didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't think I would have chosen that if it wasn't for the fact that he comes back in the corner. So it's like something's going on here. There's more to this character in the story than I think I was expecting.
Yeah.
So the fact that it was a twist, the fact that it sets up this ending, and then the reveal of like where we kind of like come around to. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was like maybe not the most shocking thing, but it was like not visually at least, but like narratively.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. All right. Well, now it's time for a segment that we like to call The Real Monster.
Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man.
You're a monster.
I'm not the monster here. You are. You and the rest of that fairy tale trash poisoning my perfect world. Now tell me, where are the others?
Eat me.
Casey, what's your real monster for Terrifier?
Okay, so I just have one, and it is Art the Clown, but it's not because he's killing people and sawing people in half and wearing people's boobies. It's because he took part of the tip off of the table at the pizza place to buy that ring for Tara, because that's just really rude.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, those pizza guys are working real hard.
Yeah,
You know,
he did
and they had
steal
to clean
that.
up all his Duke in the bathroom.
Dude.
to
Yeah.
blow up that bathroom like
So
that.
that was really
And
not
take
cool,
the tip.
man.
Oh, good point. Yeah. Fuck. Art the Clown is the real monster.
That's a good one.
Danny, what do you got?
I just had, for my real monster, I just had people who host Halloween parties in the middle of nowhere.
Oh,
That's it.
yeah.
Also, there just happened to be like, where was everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Tara and Dawn are the real monsters. Maybe they deserved all this because like they were like those people who like stay at the party too late and you're like, oh my God, are you gonna go?
God,
like
can you guys
it's
just
clearly
leave?
over.
Oh my God.
Your story about your new job is so fucking great. I love it. Like,
Yeah.
but it's 4 a.m. Like we can do this any other time. You didn't even wear a costume.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got 3.
That's it.
I've got poop in cinema.
Chocolate
Which is
frosting.
funny because Kevin Smith, who you love,
Yeah.
is like the king. He has the ultimate cinematic poop monster.
Well, oh my
Dogma?
gosh, he does. Dogma, the poop monster. But I'm talking like, so like this bathroom scene, I'm talking like Train Spotting bathroom. I'm talking like,
it's
like
so weird
that
though,
kind of
because I
stuff.
love that scene and it's so horrible.
Dumb and
God.
Dumber.
There's shit everywhere.
Bob Saget.
There's shit on the walls.
That's like a good honorable mention because isn't it chocolate?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is
he's
it
got-
chocolate?
He's got the chocolate and it's
I
like,
think
it's all
so, and the whole
melted.
idea-
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he
Okay.
thinks it's
He thinks it's poop. It's
Okay.
Like goes in and like looks up around and he's like, there's shit, everywhere.
Shit.
So poop in cinema.
R.I.P.
Yeah. Yeah. Bob Saget. I've got drunk drivers. Especially, I mean, they're all bad, but especially the people who like will fight you because they refuse to give up their keys.
Oh, my friends.
Ugh.
That is so stupid to me.
I know. And when I say my friends, I mean like 15 years ago, like
Right.
when we were 18.
Right. But it's so fucking stupid. And it's just like,
But it is.
like, why are they so, why won't they give up their keys?
Yeah. I don't know, man.
But anyways, my last real monster is characters in movies who don't kill the bad guy when they have the opportunity.
Oh, Mike.
But I'm talking Tara.
Oh,
Tara
Mike, you could have
gets away.
You could have done the bug bomb.
You could have done
wouldn't
the
have
bug
survived
bomb,
it.
Mikey. But Tara gets away right after Dawn gets sawed in half. She didn't get sewed up. No, she definitely didn't get sewed up.
yeah.
And he's got a whole glad bag filled with weapons, right?
Yeah.
And she like stabs him once in the back and then runs away.
Oh, yeah.
And finds like a board, like a wood plank.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you could have like,
She's like, it's about time to walk the plank as he shoots her.
but like
Yeah.
she had all that stuff and she could have just killed him. I mean, he wouldn't have died, but do you know what I mean? And I hate when the characters do that. It's like, just do it.
I'm
Finish
with
it.
you.
Let's go.
Yeah, I understand that.
So here at How I Met Your Monster, we are introducing a brand new segment called Would You Survive?, in which we determine whether or not the three of us would survive meeting this monster. So, without further ado, this is Would You Survive?
And here we go.
So let's start with Art the Clown himself. Casey, would you survive Art the
Casey
Clown?
is,
would you survive yourself?
Yeah, as Art the Clown.
Well, in the second Terrifier, Art does have a counterpart, so
Right.
I don't think that he would hurt me as Art the Clown. As Casey, though, no, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
In part one, most of the people are rather dumb. So in part one, I feel like maybe I could, but in part two, everyone's a lot smarter and people still die. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
And even like you said,
I,
even with like Vicky being suffocated by that bag, like
right.
it's like when you're in it, it's kind of like you're not thinking straight.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think I would survive Art the Clown. I do.
Okay.
You know why? Because I know the one thing to do if you can get to a certain point. If you can get to a certain point, you stab him more than once.
Sure.
Tara, you should have learned. You stab him more than once. You do a few things, and then you just leave the building.
Just do a few things.
You just do a few things, and then you just leave the building. You just leave the building. You go.
That kind of ties into my
So that's the thing. Are we saying in this setting? I was just saying generalization. If I'm in this setting, yes, I would survive because I don't get drunk, so I would have just driven my ass home in the first place.
So that was kind of
beautiful.
my yeah. That's kind of my answer because I only know the only context I have of Art the Clown is in this setting.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were in the setting, I feel like he would scare me so much and I would die. I'd be like, or I would like run into a car or something. I'd be like, I can't deal with this. I'm like so anxious right now. Like I need to die. I can't. Otherwise, yeah, I feel like I would avoid, and I feel like I have avoided weird, desolate Halloween parties in an industrial setting in New York.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I specifically would just like not put myself in that position.
Yeah.
But were I in the position, I would die.
Cool.
Oh man. Well, now I sound like an asshole.
No, I just said that
you're someone who uses their brain.
Yeah. I just said that if I were in that exact situation, yes, I would survive.
Yeah.
Zach's like actually a survivalist. I would cripple. I don't
think I'm a survivalist.
Survivalist.
I don't even know how to tie a knot other than my shoe.
That's funny.
And that is the only way to defeat Art the Clown.
Tying knots.
He's like, I can't. It confuses him. That's in this. Wait, that's in part 3 where someone ties the ribbon on the gift, and he just like he gives up. He's like, I'm done. He's like, my only weakness. Sorry, spoiler alert, by the way, for Terrifier 3.
Yeah,
brought to you by Glad.
All right, well, that is our latest segment. Would you survive? So, guys, that's it for Terrifier.
That's it.
And our second feature in our Halfway to Halloween triple feature.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fun movie. Very disgusting, but I'm glad I finally checked it out.
Glad you guys liked it.
It was a long time coming, too. Casey's been wanting to watch this for a while.
Yeah.
So until we get to our third feature in this triple feature, make sure to follow us on social media. You can find us at How I Met Your Monster on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X. And you can email us your questions and comments at howimetyourmonsterpodcast@gmail.com. If you are enjoying the show, we would really appreciate if you would head to Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star rating and review. That really helps us rank in search engines. And so that would be awesome. Where can our listeners find you two on social media?
I am on Instagram at wolfmothercasey.
Awesome. Danny?
And I'm on various social media platforms by my name, Danny Salem. It's Danny, D-A-N-N-Y, Salem, S-A-L-E-M-M-E. That's 2 M's like the candy, melt in your butt, not in your hands. If you see a Miller on the end of that name, it's also me. So
nice. Well, our next episode and our final episode in the How I Met Your Monster Halfway to Halloween triple feature is basically the same movie as Terrifier.
Yeah. If you've seen this one, you've seen them. Yeah.
Danny, what are we watching?
We are watching a little classic Disney movie, Hocus Pocus.
Oh, Ooh. So it's just like Terrifier. You're right.
It's
basically the same.
Yes. Awesome. Well, I am looking forward to that because I've never really seen it. So.
Oh, interesting.
And I've seen it too many times.
I actually saw it once with Nina, but I fell asleep about halfway through. So we'll see.
Well, I'm actually excited to get your opinion on it. Because I feel like mine is like deeply just drowning in nostalgia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I feel like your opinion will be a little less biased.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
So make sure to join us next episode for Hocus Pocus. And until then, thank you all for listening. Now go meet some monsters.